There we go. I think you guys can hear me now. I apologize for that mistake on my end. Still learning all these new tricks and whatever you want to call it, gadgets I'm using to make it kind of a cool, interactive thing. Appreciate you guys jumping back on, sticking with me, and letting me know that the mic was not working the way it needed to be. Welcome back. Welcome back to that F Word podcast. We got we're going to talk about the eight strategies. Well, eight strategies. I shouldn't say the eight strategies. Eight strategies for successfully dealing with rejection. So a couple of you guys gave some feedback yesterday to the podcast, and one of the things was that you guys wanted to talk about dealing with rejection and how that plays out in our everyday life. So I figured I'd jump on there, put something together for you, and get it rocking and rolling this morning. Hope you're all feeling well. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and then do me a favor. I'm told that if it's a live stream and you hit the like button while it's live, it'll get pushed out to everyone else around there. So go ahead and do me a favor, hit that like button, push it out so we can get this stream rolling and we can get more people jumping on here and joining the community, joining the chat. As always, chat down below. Let me know what's going on, how you feel, what we got going on, how your day's going so far, and how your day was yesterday. If you got any comments for me, questions for me, feel free to just put them in the little chat there. I'm gonna do this right here. Put your chat here. Boom. So put the chat there. We're live on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook. So we're on like two or three different pages on Facebook. We got this rock and rolling. So again, if you're just jumping on, we're going to be talking about the eight strategies for successfully dealing with rejection. And that came from one of the listeners / watchers yesterday. Wanted to know how to deal with that rejection in everyday life. So that's what we're going to discuss today. So let me jump right into it. So rejection can sting, but it doesn't have to derail your efforts or your future at any case, right? Rejection is part of life, and it's something that everyone is just going to have to face at some point in some time. While rejection isn't enjoyable, it's rarely fatal, right? Your life isn't over when you get rejected. Luckily, there are strategies that we can use to help us dealing with rejection, and we can use those as a stepping stone to our success. So, like I said, I wrote down eight different things for us to go over today that we can kind of jump into. We'll keep it short and sweet as usual. And number one, let's jump right into number one. And number one is going to be take a short break. Whether a potential romantic partner, your boss, or a director, somebody that you envy has rejected you, take a short period of time to, I guess, grieve and pull yourself together. Avoid taking too long to re-engage with your life, though. Take the time you need, but get back out there as quickly as you possibly can. And I say that through one of the experiences I had. I'll take one back from the younger days on my first club tryout. Was doing pretty all right with AYSO. Mom took me out to a tryout with the club team. I was shocking out there, but I thought I did all right in my mind. Got home that evening, got the phone call because back then I don't believe there was cell phones yet. Yeah, aging myself right now, but there wasn't cell phones yet. Got back home, got a call on the house phone. Mom took the call, and then I was told that I did not make the team. Now, I was standing in the hallway when I got the information from my mom, and I just stood there and cried for 15, 20 minutes, trying to understand why I didn't make the team and whatnot. So that's the example of rejection right there. But instead of allowing it to dictate if I'm going to continue on with soccer or moving on to another sport, I just kept hammering away at it, kept practicing, figured out what it was that I wasn't doing so well, and kind of went and put that to better use as far as figuring out if this was going to be a sport for me, if this is something that I wanted to continue, and if it was, I was going to have to work hard at it and come back even better next time with the next tryout the following year. And that's what I did, and the rest is history when it comes to the soccer front. So let me know if you've had any rejection. Put them in the chat. If you had any rejection in your life, put it in the chat. Share with us if it's not too embarrassing for you, or you don't mind sharing. Put it in the chat so others out there listening can know that it's not just happening to them. It happens to all of us. All right. Boom. Let's jump over to number 2. Realize that many other opportunities exist. How many potential uh, romantic partners exist in the world? Millions. How many other soccer teams exist in the world? How many other jobs exist in the world? There's so many out there. You'll have other ideas um, to pitch to your company and to get your business rocking and rolling. There's so much for us to continue to do, and not worried about that one situation. A single rejection only means that you're participating in the world. The only people that don't get rejected are at home on the couch and blowing up your rejection even further. So stop paying attention to those and just continue to push forward and recognize that you're actually out there participating, actually out there trying to make your situation better. There are plenty of opportunities in your future. Many of them are better than your recent misses. And we have to recognize that that's just part of how things go. I started a character developmental soccer program for schools and churches when I came back home to Bakersfield after retiring. And it took a while to get that business going, get some momentum going, and get people to say, you know what, I want to give this guy a chance. I want to give this program a chance. And I had to go and literally knock on doors and text and email and Facebook messages to send out to people and say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to get going. Is it possible for me to be a part of your school community here? And there was times that, they shut the door in my face and said, no, this is not for us at this time, or this is not going to work out, or this is not something that we are interested in at the time. And I could have easily just turned around and said, forget all of this. It's too hard. It's too difficult. And let me go do something else, versus taking that as maybe my pitch wasn't good enough, or maybe I wasn't organized enough, or maybe I just needed to find the right place so that I could have some level of success somewhere, and then they could share that information or their experience with the other location. And that's literally how things got going. One school let me in. They told their friends, another director over here, another school site superintendent over here, and that's how things got rolling. And we ended up getting into a decent amount of schools and getting things rocking and rolling. If you're just joining in, put in the chat, rejection is my middle name, says Melissa. Hey, it's all good. It's all good out there. Um, Everybody put something in the chat here if you've been rejected. If you're, like I said, if you're not too embarrassed to share, put your experiences in there so we can share with the rest of the group. I think it's important for us to always talk about things that affects everyone, and that sometimes we just want to hide and sweep under the rug or tuck it away. So let's move on to number 3 here. Learn from the rejection. Was there something that you could have done better? And that's what I mentioned. Maybe my pitch wasn't together. Maybe I wasn't presenting myself well enough when I was first walking into the building. Who knows what it was, right? Take the opportunity to really look at the rejection and learn from it. Okay. Um, if you can learn one small thing from each negative experience in your life, you'll have far fewer of them. If appropriate, ask what you can do to improve. A job interviewer might be very willing to give you a few pointers that you can apply in the future. So listen closely to the answers that you receive. Some quests have a low success rate. For example, you can, with all of this craziness going on, you can offer a seller a decent price on their home right now, but because of the current state of the economy and how things are going, they're going to reject that because they got a cash buyer, and you've been looking for a home for a long time. So just accept that a certain amount of rejection is part of any endeavor. Okay, so we have to be able to uh, push forward and be willing to go on and willing to carry on despite not hearing what we want to hear at the current time. It's just how things are, right? Let me jump back over to the chat, make sure I didn't miss something over there. So we have to be able and willing to continue to take the steps, keep moving forward, keep pushing forward, and recognize that it's going to happen. It will happen, but it's all right and things will work out. So that is number 3 for us. So let's move over to number 4. Avoid automatically assuming that the reason for the rejection is related to you. Now, in my first example, it was me. My skills were not up to par. For instance, there are hundreds of reasons why a woman might refuse to go out with a man, and that have may have nothing to do with them personally. She might be involved with someone else already. She might have just gotten out of a long-term relationship. She's moving out of state soon. Her mother is ill and she's taking care of her. There's so many things that go on, and I'll go back again to the soccer program. Maybe the timing of the year wasn't right. There was a few things that I was unaware of as far as proper protocols to go through in order to get your program at a school site. I didn't know those things in the beginning, but having those conversations, going out there, putting myself out there, I was able to learn and pick up on certain situations, certain schools, that it wasn't me, it was the timing of it. If you're working with the public schools, it could take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to actually get a program on campus because it has to go through the after school director, and then it has to go to the board, and they have to vote on it, and then you have to get your MOU out there. That's memorandum of understanding. Everything has to line up. You have to get that information out there, and it may even take to the next school year before you're actually able to get out on campus. So in the beginning, like I said, I was thinking, okay, well, it's me, maybe my approach, but come to find out through proper protocol, those things take time, which at the same time, I was able to continue to learn, continue to improve my program, and continue to make connections out there with those that would be willing to accept the program on site. All right, so number 5, remember that each rejection is bringing you closer to success. How can you fail if you avoid quitting, right? Did I say that the right way? So you're not going to be able to fail in life if you keep dodging the bullet and dodging those chances to put yourself out there, dodging your chances of actually getting your company, your business, yourself out in front of other people. Uh, Salespeople are trained to believe that every no is another step to a yes, and that's what we have to deal with at the gym. We call people, we talk to people about our facility, what we can offer them, what we believe will be beneficial to them, and why we believe that we may be different than another facility. And you run the risk of them saying, no, I'm happy where I am, or no, I'm not looking at this time, or no, I'm not interested. But it is true that it is getting you closer to the yes, because now you've eliminated one person and now you can move on to someone else. So it's always good to get a simple yes or no straight away, and that way you're able to move forward and continue to do the things necessary for you to keep your business growing and keep things afloat. And no, it doesn't feel good to get rejected. So I want to make sure that that's out there. I don't want to make it seem like it's just this easy thing and it's no problem at all for somebody just to tell you no, and then no over here, and then no over here, and then no over there. And you're probably thinking, oh man, I've been through this several times. Why is it constantly happening to me? but it's okay. Just keep going, keep rocking, and you'll be perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and jump into number 6, which is remember that everyone deals with rejection. The most successful people get rejected the most. All right. They they just do a better job of foregoing ahead than those with average results. So what I mean by that is uh, I have to make contact with anywhere from 50 to 100 people a day just to keep our businesses going, get new people in. And oftentimes, I may get hung up on 10% of the time, and another 20% of the time, there's no answer. That can feel like a rejection as well when somebody just doesn't pick up the phone, get forwarded to voicemail, you don't get a call back. Maybe 50% of the time, it's just a simple no, don't want to do it, not interested. And some people take that to heart, and sometimes we can take that to heart. But you just have to recognize that um, every time that you stumble, every time you don't get the results that you're looking for, every time that things don't work out, you're getting stronger. You are getting stronger in the long run, and even though it may not feel like it at first, you are getting there. So we have to just remember to keep going, 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 and get there. And I know we've all heard this countless times, but that's just part of life, and we got to be able to take it as it comes. Number 7, monitor your self talk. And that is keep your thoughts positive and upbeat. A poor mood and expectations give poor results. Say good things to yourself, and good things will happen. How often do we say, "Oh, I was terrible. I was stupid. I was dumb. That was ridiculous." Whatever the case may be, I want you to start looking at yourself in the mirror. And this is something that I do every day. As I approach the day, I have my list written down as far as what I'm going to do, what my goals are, and what for me would be considered a successful day. And I tell myself that I'm capable of doing this. I'm able to do it. And when I do go through with it, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. The people are going to enjoy it. I'm going to receive some great feedback from it. And if I happen to stumble, I recognize that it may not be the proper timing. Things just didn't work out for that current situation or that current person. But I know that the next time that I go out there, I'm going to be even better, and I'm going to continue to improve. Um, you may look a little weird or strange in the mirror if somebody walks in, but it's all good. Continue to tell yourself how awesome and amazing that you are, and maybe even pull back some past results of successful situations that you've had. When you got a few A's on a test, and or you got accepted into that university, you landed the dream job that you never thought you could, or whatever it is. Remember that we've all had some positive things have happened to us. So repeat those things to yourself. It'll boost your mood, and you'll feel even better when you're going out there in the world trying to conquer that new endeavor. All right. And finally, number 8, treat yourself well. All right. Treat yourself well. A failure isn't an excuse to mistreat yourself. So, what I mean by that is we may indulge in overeating, over consumption of alcohol, or excessively spending and just going on a shopping spree. That isn't the answer. Celebrate the fact that you made an effort. Maybe your rejection even deserves a small reward because you put yourself out there. You went out when maybe people are telling you that you're not capable, or maybe people are telling you that you're not ready, or certain people don't like what you have to offer, but you're willing to put yourself out there should be celebrated. There's so many people, as I mentioned earlier, that are just sitting at home on the couch. They call them, what do they call, keyboard warriors and things of that nature there. What do they call it, quarterbacking on Monday, or whatever the case may be. Those are the people that are not taking a risk and not willing to put themselves out there because they don't want to get exposed. They don't want to get rejected. But we have to be willing to take a step out, and we have to be willing to jump out there and do that. And Maria says, that's me. I'm used to it by now, 8 months looking. Excellent, Maria. You're still putting yourself out there. You're still taking the necessary steps forward, and you're still going. It may not always be pretty at first, and it may not be um, so enjoyable at first, but as we continue to take those baby steps, continue to recognize that we will improve each and every time that we get out there. That's something that is helping us, and I'm hopefully that I'm saying this in a way that you guys are understanding it. Um, Mercedes, Mercedes has said that what I've learned from rejection is that usually the thing I'm going after isn't the right thing for me, and there's usually something better. Yes, and that's one thing that we touched on earlier. Maybe the team that I went out for wasn't the right team for me for my long term development, right? And then I didn't make that team. However, I made another team that allowed me to excel a lot faster and a lot further than the first team did. And that could be the same with a job. Maybe the position that you're going for isn't exactly the fit for you. And we could use that to, in the next job interview, at the next job site when we do get hired. And now we're even better of a person than we were prior to, or now we're enjoying ourselves, our life, and our job that much more because we're actually in the right position. So I like that, Mercedes, because that is what happens quite often. And Melissa has responded to Mercedes or applied to Mercedes, and she says, Mercedes, I love that. We always think we have to be. Oh, we always think that we know, but we have no idea. And that's exactly it. And we'll never know unless we're willing to go out there, take a risk, and try to strive for what we want. We have to be willing to go out there. You have to be willing to put things on the line. It's always safe and easy to just stay hidden and tucked away in a corner and stay with a job that you've been at for 30 years just because it's safe, it's easy. But yet, who wants to do that for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and only have the 2 days on the weekend to be happy about and look forward to, and hoping that that next holiday is coming up when we could maybe take a risk and do something that we love and enjoy that much more. And now maybe you're spending 100 hours a week at that job that you love because now it's not work. You're just enjoying it. You're having a great time. So yes, that makes perfect sense. Thank you guys for joining in the chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. I try to keep this short. We're pushing about 23 minutes here. I wanted to keep it about 20, so I'll do a better job of conveying my thoughts, and that's something that I'm working on. So I was feeling like I was actually giving myself not that positive talk, which we mentioned in what was that, number 7 there. I had the one on this shoulder and the one on this shoulder. This one was telling me, you're not going to be able to do it. Don't jump on it. It's not going to work out. You're going to be stumbling and fumbling. But um, I like to do it even if I just get one person on here that maybe needed to hear that word today prior to a job interview or prior to a tryout or prior to launching that product that they've been trying to get out to the world, or building up the courage to speak to someone else. So that works for me, and I'm happy to be able to do that. Rejection is just an undesired outcome. It's no different than missing the strike zone during a baseball game. You wouldn't walk off the mound after one errant pitch. You keep throwing the ball. Avoid allowing rejection to have a negative impact on your mood or behavior. Learn, grow, and try again. So always push forward. Like I always mention, I say better than yesterday because that's what it's about. It's about slow, incremental growth. Okay. We're looking at longevity. We're looking over the long term. If we can do something to improve ourselves each and every day, we will get to that desired outcome, the desired results that we are looking for, and we'll be able to get there. And as usual, jump on to shop.lylemartinjr.com. Get you some of that latest merch. It just helps me to continue to put stuff together like this, continue to put myself out there and make this something that can be done daily and that you guys can continue to enjoy. And if you're local, I think about 30% of you are local here. If you're local and you want to come by and try out the gym, you want to work on your health and fitness with a family oriented atmosphere, Nice group community. You could join us at bit.ly/motivate starter. And that's one of our promotions that you can get into the gym with us on. I appreciate you guys joining me today. I'll be on hopefully tomorrow. That is my goal. Get it done a little bit earlier and I'll keep it short and sweet for you. And I appreciate you guys staying on with me. I'll double check the chat before I leave, make sure I didn't miss any final ones. Greatly appreciate you guys. I'm going to continue to improve myself with this flow, the information that I get out to you. And as always, be better than yesterday.